Let's go over using lists in Hypatia. The main difference between lists in Hypatia and applications like Google Docs or Word is that lists in Hypatia can only be inserted, whereas in Word or Google Docs, lists can be inserted as well as created from existing text. So, in this case, we have to insert the list before we can add any text. So from the top menu, we can stay on the line because the list is inserted, it'll already be inserted on a new line. We can go up to lists, and here we can choose between bullets and numbered. So let's choose a bulleted list, and now we can start typing our first item. If we want to create a new line without creating an additional item in the list, we can simply press Shift-Enter to create a new line in the same item. Now, if we want to create another item in the list, we can just press Enter, and that'll create a new bullet point. So let's give this example list one more item, so we have a total of 3. Let's create a sublist in item 1. So if we were in Word, what we could do is go to the end of the first item, press Enter, and then hit Tab to create a sublist. But in Hypatia, we can't do that because lists can only be inserted. So we can head to the end of the item, and again from the top menu, go to Lists, and this time we can choose a numbered list, and it'll be added as a sublist in the first item of the main list. We can press Enter again to create a new item in the sublist. Now, if we want to create another item in the main list under item 2 in our sublist, we can hit Enter. This will create a new item in the sublist, but if we press Enter in the last item of a list, it'll go one level higher. So now we can enter a new item into our main list. So now if we're done our list, we can exit the list by going to the last item, and just as we did for the sublist, press Enter twice. The first Enter will create a new bullet, and the second will exit the list. We can change the properties of the list by using the inspector. So we can select any spot in the list and open up the inspector from the top right. Now here we see item 1, and we see the list environment. Now if we want to change, say, the marker, so change it from a dot to something else, we can enter the list environment, and here we see that we can change the list from bulleted to numbered, or just change the style of bullet. So if we go bulleted, we see our bullet options. We choose custom, and then we can choose which style we'd like. And that'll be reflected in the other elements of the list as well. Now we can go to sublist, and again, this time we see a list, item 1, another list, and then item 1 in the sublist. So if we want to change the sublist, we have to select the second list environment. And again, we can choose some custom numbering, and let's say we want them labeled A, B. These are the basics we need to know for using lists in Hypatia.